Have you ever picked the perfect suburb only to realize the commute completely changes your life? Because here's the truth. No one talks about when moving to San Antonio. That 20-minute commute you see on Google Maps, it can quietly turn into 45 minutes during peak traffic. And if you're driving that 5 days a week, that's almost 4 extra hours in your car every single week. Now, imagine choosing a suburb that fits your lifestyle, your job, your school needs, and your long-term plan, instead of choosing what looks pretty online. In today's video, I'm ranking the suburbs of San Antonio by commute time, but not just by minutes or on the map. I'm breaking it down by real-life scenarios. If you work downtown, if you're commuting to the medical center, you're stationed at one of our military bases, if you're hybrid and only driving in twice a week, if you're deciding between hill country charm and city convenience, and I'm going to show you how the best suburbs completely changes depending on where you work and how often you drive. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly whether Stone Oak, Boerne, or New Braunfels makes sense for you and your daily life. Because commute time is not just about distance, it's about your time, your stress level, and your long-term quality of life. Now, let's get into it. My name is Phyllis Domingo. I've lived here for over 20 years, and as a local realtor, I love helping people make their move to the San Antonio area. Whether that's 9 days or 90 days from now, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is in the description below. I work with clients relocating from all over the country and even internationally. Whether you're military, remote working, retiring, or just need a fresh start, I know how overwhelming it can feel. But that's exactly why I created this channel, to give you the info and insight you need to make a smart move to San Antonio, and maybe even help you find your dream home along the way. Let's talk commute. Because here's the thing most relocation videos don't break down properly. When people say it's only 30 minutes away, that means very different things depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from Los Angeles, 30 minutes feels like a gift. If you're coming from Denver, 30 minutes might feel normal. If you're coming from Manhattan and taking a train, 30 minutes might feel luxurious. But in San Antonio, commute expectations are different. Traffic exists, yes, but it's not Houston, it's not Dallas. So I'm going to break this down into 3 categories: 15-minute commute zones, 30-minute suburban sweet spots, and then we'll talk about hybrid workers and military-specific commute considerations. And we're going to focus on 3 areas relocators constantly ask about: Stone Oak, Boerne, New Braunfels. Let's start with the 15-minute commute mindset. If you're someone who wants to be within 15 minutes of major employment centers, hospitals, downtown offices, or key highways, then realistically, you're not looking at outer suburbs. You're looking at areas inside the main San Antonio loop systems like 1604 and 410. This is where Stone Oak becomes extremely popular. Now, technically, Stone Oak is in the North San Antonio. Some people call it suburban, but in reality, it functions as a 15-20 minute zone for a lot of major employers. If you work at Methodist Stone Oak, North Central Baptist, corporate offices along 281, USAA, even downtown during non-peak hours, Stone Oak can feel very convenient. During peak traffic, it might stretch to 20 to 25 minutes depending on exact location. What relocators love about Stone Oak is this: you get suburban lifestyle master plan communities, you get highly rated schools in Northeast ISD, you get gated neighborhoods, you get hill country views, you get newer homes, but you are still technically in San Antonio's city limits. That's powerful for planners because when you look at migration data showing professionals aged 35 to 55 relocating with higher income brackets, they're just not chasing affordability. They're chasing efficiency. Time is money, and a 15 to 20 minute commute versus 40 minutes changes your daily life. Now, let's talk about ranking. If we are ranking strictly by shortest commute to central San Antonio employment, Stone Oak wins over Boerne and New Braunfels. No question. So if you work downtown or in the medical center, Stone Oak beats both in average commute time, but commute is not just about time. It's about lifestyle trade-offs. And this is where serious planners start asking deeper questions. Now let's move into the 30-minute suburban sweet spot. This is where Boerne and New Braunfels enter the conversation. Let's start with Boerne. Boerne is west of San Antonio. It feels more like a small hill country town than a suburb. Charming Main Street, boutique shopping, hill country views, more custom homes, larger lots, excellent schools in Boerne ISD. But here's the honest truth. If you work inside central San Antonio, Boerne is not a 15-minute commute. It's realistically 25 to 35 depending on traffic and your exact destination. If you're commuting to the Rim, La Cantera, UTSA, Northwest Medical Center, Boerne can be about 20 to 30 minutes. If you're commuting downtown during rush hour, it can push to 35 to 45 minutes. Now, for some buyers, that is completely acceptable because what you're trading is density for space. And for relocators coming from California or Colorado, where affordability and space are major motivators, Boerne often feels like a lifestyle upgrade. You're not just buying commute time. You're buying breathing room, you're buying hill country sunsets, you're buying that small town Texas charm. Now let's talk about New Braunfels. New Braunfels is northeast of San Antonio toward Austin. And this is where hybrid workers and Austin commuters start paying attention. New Braunfels to northeast San Antonio can be 25 to 35 minutes. Downtown San Antonio can be 35 to 45 minutes. Austin can be 45 to 60 minutes depending on traffic. So here's the strategic difference. Boerne is West Hill Country charm. New Braunfels is growth corridor energy. New Braunfels has exploded in popularity. It sits in the San Antonio-Austin corridor. It attracts families, remote workers, and buyers who want newer construction communities with amenities, pools, trails, master plan neighborhoods, strong school systems in Commute ISD and New Braunfels ISD. But you are committing to a longer commute if you work centrally in San Antonio. So when we rank suburbs by commute time alone, Stone Oak, Boerne, New Braunfels, but when we factor lifestyle and hybrid flexibility, the ranking shifts depending on the buyer. Now let's talk about hybrid workers. This is a huge shift in relocation patterns. The reports show migration driven by professionals with higher paying jobs. Many of these professionals are hybrid. They commute 2 or 3 days a week, and that changes everything. If you only drive in twice a week, suddenly a 35-minute commute feels manageable. That's when New Braunfels becomes very attractive. That's when Boerne becomes very attractive because you're optimizing your daily life the other 5 days. More space, more community, amenities, lower price per square foot, newer homes. Hybrid workers think differently. They calculate commute multiplied by frequency, not commute alone. And this is something I walk my clients through all the time. If you're commuting 5 days a week, stay closer. If you're commuting 2 days a week, you have flexibility. That's strategic planning. Now let's talk about military commute considerations. San Antonio is Military City, USA. If you're stationed at Fort Sam Houston, Lackland Air Force Base, Randolph Air Force Base, your commute ranking changes dramatically. Stone Oak to Fort Sam, 20 to 30 minutes. Boerne to Lackland, that can be 35 to 45 minutes. New Braunfels to Randolph, that can be 20 to 30 minutes, which makes New Braunfels very attractive for Air Force families stationed there. So this is why ranking suburbs by commute is not one size fits all. It depends on your anchor point. And serious relocation buyers understand that. Let me give you a real-world example. I worked with a family relocating from Colorado. They initially loved Boerne, but once we mapped their commute 5 days a week into the medical center during peak traffic, they realized it would add almost 5 hours a week in driving. That changed their decision. They chose North San Antonio instead. On the flip side, I worked with a tech professional relocating from California. Hybrid schedule. 2 office days a week near the Rim. They chose New Braunfels. Why? Because those extra 20 minutes twice a week worth the lifestyle and price advantage. That is strategic relocation planning. So if you're watching this and thinking about moving to San Antonio, here's what I want you to do. Start with your job anchor. Map it, drive it if you can, or at least Google it during peak hours. Then ask yourself, how many days per week am I commuting? How much space do I want? Do I prioritize walkability or lot size? Do I want country charm or city convenience? And if you want help walking through that, that's what I do. Reach out, call, text, email, all my contact information is below. Even if you're 90 days out, planning early makes all the difference. Now let's recap rankings clearly. If your priority is shortest commute inside San Antonio, Stone Oak wins. If your priority is balancing commute with hill country charm and schools, Boerne becomes very competitive. If your priority is master plan growth, hybrid flexibility, and Austin corridor access, New Braunfels rises in value. There's no universal best. There's only best for you. And that's what smart relocation planning looks like in 2026. If you're ready to make a move to San Antonio or surrounding suburbs, I'm here to help. All my contact information is in the description below. Call me, text me, or email me anytime. Whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, I'd love to help you find your perfect home. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone you know who's thinking about moving to the San Antonio area. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.